She didn't know she was being photographed that day. He didn't know he was capturing someone's deepest pain. After losing her father, Jessica walks out of a hospital and unknowingly steps into the frame of street photographer Henry. The photograph becomes famous, praised as art, as a symbol of silence after loss. But for her, it is a reminder of the day her life shattered. Their story doesn't begin with romance. It begins with anger, guilt, and quiet conversations. With grief that doesn't disappear overnight. This is a love story about patience instead of passion, about staying when it's easier to leave, and about learning that memory doesn't fight happiness, it deepens it. A story about loss, forgiveness, and the light that remains.
Love Stories Max. Welcome to my channel. Enjoy watching, friends.
The photograph that taught me love. My name is Jessica, and I've never liked photographs. That day, the sky was painfully clear. The kind of clear that feels unfair when everything inside you is falling apart. I remember the smell of hot asphalt, the dull hum of traffic, and the coffee I never finished. It went cold in my hand, just like my life did. I walked out of the hospital instead of taking a cab. The doctor had been talking. I nodded. None of the words had weight. They floated past me like dust. Only one sentence stayed. We did everything we could. I walked without looking where I was going. And then I heard the shutter. I didn't know he had taken my picture. I didn't feel it. I was standing in the middle of the sidewalk, clutching my bag to my chest, as if some warmth might still be there. My father's warmth. I saw the photograph 3 days later. A friend sent me a link with a short message. "Jess, is this you?" Black and white. The city blurred into motion. People reduced to shadows. And me, sharp, painfully clear, as if carved out of grief. Empty eyes, lips pressed tight, hair caught by the wind. The title read, "Silence After Loss." Photograph by Henry Miles. The world decided it was beautiful. The comments kept coming. "This is the most honest photo I've seen all year. Her eyes say everything. True art." I stared at the screen and felt hatred rise in my chest. Not for the photo. For him. He had turned my worst day into art. Finding his studio was easy. Photographers leave trails, websites, interviews, awards. His name was Henry. When I walked in, the place smelled like coffee, old paper, and something calm. That alone made me angry. "You had no right," I said, skipping any kind of greeting. He looked up. His eyes weren't surprised. They were tired, like he had been waiting for this moment. "You're the woman in the photograph," he said quietly. "I knew you'd come. I lost my father," I snapped. "And you turned it into an exhibition." He didn't defend himself. That hurt more than any excuse would have. "I wasn't photographing you," he said after a pause. "I was photographing grief. But grief always has a face. And I'm sorry if I added to your pain." I wanted him to be cold, cynical, detached. Instead, he sat there holding his coffee cup like it might escape. "I'll take it down," he added. "If you want." I didn't know what I wanted. So I left. He wrote to me a week later. Short, no excuses. I removed the photograph from the exhibition. If it would help, we can talk. Henry. I didn't reply. But that night I woke up realizing something unbearable. He was the only person who had seen me exactly as I was that day. Not strong. Not composed. Broken. I went back. We talked for hours. About my father. About how he used to whistle when he was nervous. About how Henry lost his sister years ago and started photographing people in moments of silence instead of joy. About how sometimes a camera is a way not to run away. He listened. Really listened. He remembered details. Even the smallest ones. I watched him without meaning to. The way he took off his glasses when he thought. The way he bit his lip when he doubted himself. The way he never photographed me, as if he was afraid to hurt me again. "You can," I said once. "Not yet," he answered. "I want you to want it first." That was harder than pressure. Love didn't arrive all at once. It arrived as shame. In the way he looked away when I cried. In the way I caught myself wanting him near, and believing he didn't deserve to be. One evening he said, "I don't have the right to fall in love with you. I caused the pain. And I don't have the right to be happy yet," I replied. "I'm not ready." We sat in silence while the city breathed outside the window. Our love didn't begin with fireworks. It began with patience. Our first almost kiss was awkward. I pulled back at the last second. He stopped immediately. No anger. No questions. That night I cried at home, sitting on the floor with my father's old sweater in my hands. In the morning there was a message. "I'm here, even if that means waiting." Love stopped looking like something loud. It started looking like care. Then came the day everything almost fell apart. We were walking downtown when I saw it. The photograph again. Someone had used it illegally for an ad. The shock hit so hard I couldn't breathe. "This is you again," I whispered. "It's always because of you." His face went pale. He stepped back. "If it's easier without me," he said softly, "I'll go." That's when I realized something terrifying. The fear of losing him was stronger than the fear of being happy. I grabbed his hand. For the first time, on purpose. "Don't go," I said. "I'm not angry at you. I'm angry that the pain still lives in me." He held me gently, like I might break. I cried into his shoulder without shame. Life settled into something quiet. I started coming over in the mornings. His coffee stopped being bitter. He learned how to make toast with honey and cinnamon, my favorite. We argued about music. He loved silence. I loved old songs. One day he finally photographed me. Without a camera. He just looked at me for a long time and said, "I can see the light now." I still miss my father. That never disappears. But now there's someone who isn't afraid of my grief. Our relationship isn't perfect. It's slow, careful, sometimes silent, but it's real. And if anyone says love must begin with happiness, I'll disagree. Sometimes it begins with guilt and grows into tenderness. There was one moment I had been afraid of all along. The moment of letting go. Henry was invited to do a major exhibition, one about life after loss. When he told me, I smiled, but something tightened inside me. I knew that photograph would come back. I won't show it without you, he said immediately. And I won't show it at all if you say no. I asked for time. That night I went through my father's things. His old watch. His notebook, where next to my name he had written, Jess, always. I cried, differently this time. Without panic. With gratitude. I understood something then. The photograph hadn't stolen my pain. It had preserved it. I arrived early on opening night. The gallery was almost empty. Henry stood in the middle of the room, nervously touching the strap of a camera he hadn't used in months. The photograph hung at the far end. No title, no name, just me. I stepped closer. Strangely, it no longer screamed. It was quiet, and in that silence I saw not only loss, but love. The one that existed before, and the one that came after. I turned to Henry. You can keep it, I said. But now I want another one beside it. He looked confused. I took a small photo from my bag. A casual snapshot of us, me laughing, coffee in my hand, crumbs on my sweater. This is true too, I said. And it matters more. His eyes filled with tears he didn't hide. After the exhibition, we walked outside. The city glowed with evening windows. He stopped suddenly. I spent my whole life afraid of hurting people, he said. You taught me how to stay. I took his hand. And you taught me that memory doesn't fight love, I said. It deepens it. He hugged me. Not carefully this time. Completely. Later, at home, I found a small frame on the table. Inside was the original photograph. On the back he had written, She survived, and she taught me light. I placed it by the window. Every morning the light touches it, and then moves on to us. And I know now, that photograph didn't break my life. It led me to love. This story reminds us that love does not always arrive wrapped in light. Sometimes it is born where pain still lives, where a person is afraid to smile because it feels like betraying the memory of someone they lost. We often believe that grief and happiness cannot exist together. That allowing ourselves to love again means erasing the past. But real love does not replace memory. It learns how to live beside it. This story is also about responsibility. About how talent, words, or actions can hurt even without intention. And about the courage it takes not to run from guilt, but to stay, to listen, and to take responsibility. Jessica and Henry's love did not grow out of perfect circumstances. It grew out of patience, respect, and emotional honesty. They did not try to save each other. They allowed each other to be fragile. And that is where true intimacy begins. Most importantly, this story teaches us that light does not always defeat darkness all at once. Sometimes, it simply remains. Quietly, steadily, and that is enough to keep moving forward, and to love again.